Do you know how much Inosuke respects Zenitsu? Or what about Nezuko? How much does the love of his life respect him? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down in today's video. We'll be giving each character a percentage of how much they respect Zenitsu, starting with the ones who have the least respect and working our way up to the ones who have the most. So let's get right into it with the first character, and it's this girl. Yeah, we don't even know her name, so we're just gonna call her Girl. And Girl actually got minus 10% respect for Zenitsu. Why? Because she absolutely hates him. Like, Zenitsu was literally begging her to marry him, crying, clinging to her, and refusing to let go while shouting about how he could die any day as a demon slayer. So she just has to marry him. But of course, she did not want that. I mean, he was totally harassing her, being super annoying, and a total creep. Plus, she already had a fiancé, but Zenitsu told her that she loved him. So yeah, no surprise that she absolutely hates him and literally got negative respect for him. And someone else who doesn't respect Zenitsu at all is Kaigaku, who's at 0%, and this guy also hates Zenitsu. He's always looked down on him, calling him dirt, and thought he was just a weak crybaby. He then hated him even more when his master Iguro said both he and Zenitsu would inherit thunder breathing, which made him furious, as he thought he was the only one worthy of carrying on the style, as Zenitsu didn't even take his training seriously. Then when they reunited at the Infinity Castle and Kaigaku had become a demon, he straight up laughed in Zenitsu's face and said he was way stronger than him. So he mocked him, toyed with him, and just saw Zenitsu as a pathetic, weak failure. So Kaigaku's got zero respect for him and just wanted to kill him. Although, yeah, that of course didn't happen. Staying at 0% and characters who hated Zenitsu, we've got Daki. Yeah, she was disgusted by him. Daki just hates everything that isn't beautiful, and as she thought Zenitsu's face and yellow hair were just gross, she obviously got zero respect for him. Like, she literally said he made her sick. Not only that though, but when Zenitsu stopped Daki from hurting a kid, that made her hate him even more. Not just because he touched her, but because he actually stood up to her. Plus, Daki despises all humans, and especially the ones who dare fight her. Now finally, someone who actually does respect Zenitsu. Well, only at 20% is Obanai. Now, these two haven't really interacted that much in the series, but Obanai still respects him a little for being a fellow demon slayer who risks his life fighting demons. That said, he still can't stand him. Wait, why? Simple. Obanai gets super jealous of literally anyone who even looks at Mitsuri. And Zenitsu, yeah, he obviously thinks Mitsuri is super hot and literally drools over her. But yeah, Obanai is not having it. So, Obanai and his jealousy just can't respect Zenitsu higher than 20%. But someone who is higher than 20% though, at 25%, is Sanemi. And he respects Zenitsu for the same reason Obanai does, because Zenitsu's out there fighting demons, as Sanemi hates demons more than anything. Still, Sanemi also thinks Zenitsu is weak and has zero potential to become a strong demon slayer. Like, he literally wanted to kill him for trying to escape his Hashibira training. Although yeah, I do get why, he's just terrifying. Anyway, Sanemi thinks Zenitsu is a weak crybaby, but deep down he still respects him for being a demon slayer. Moving on, we've got Muichiro Tokito at 40%, and Muichiro thinks Zenitsu is kinda annoying and way too loud. Like, even though he isn't the same spaced out guy who just stares into the clouds all day, being a lot kinder and happier, he still doesn't care about most of the other demon slayers, except for the Hashibira and his bestie Tanjiro, of course. So yeah, when it comes to Zenitsu, he respects him for being a demon slayer, but Muichiro also really just doesn't care about him, although he does think he's loud and dramatic. So let's just move on to Genya, who's got 45% respect for Zenitsu. Yeah, you probably thought Genya would be way higher, right? Since after Tanjiro and Genya became friends at the Swordsmith Village, Genya's been hanging out with him a lot more, meaning he's also become way closer with Zenitsu. Like when Sanemi was literally trying to kill Genya, Zenitsu helped take him away to safety, which meant a lot to him, since he was so happy people actually cared about him. But yeah, then Zenitsu messed it all up. Because when Zenitsu found out Sanemi was his big brother and said he was a total violent freak, Genya punched him in the face. Because Genya is not having anyone talk bad about his big brother, as he actually loves him more than anything. So even though these guys are now friendly, Genya can't respect Zenitsu more than 45%, as he talked bad about his brother. Next up, Giyu Tomioka, at 50%. And honestly, Giyu literally has no opinion about Zenitsu at all. Like, Giyu's not the type to talk much anyway, but when it comes to someone like Zenitsu, who's constantly yelling and freaking out, yeah, Giyu's definitely keeping his distance. Staying at 50%, we've got Aoi Kanzaki. She definitely cares about Zenitsu, as she worries about his health, respects him for being a demon slayer, and even says she's happy whenever he comes back from a mission in one piece. But yeah, she's just happy for a second, before she remembers how annoying he is. She just thinks he's way too much, as he's loud, dramatic, and an absolute creep, literally punching him in the face because he was just too much. So although she does care about him, like forcing him to take his medicine when he's whining, she just thinks he's so annoying and stupid. Like she seriously sometimes wants him to die, as she just can't put up with his screaming. So Aoi can absolutely not be higher than 50%. Now, we gotta talk about Inosuke, and he's actually only at 75%. Yeah, I know, these two are really close friends, even though it doesn't always look that way. And they actually care a lot about each other, and they'll always protect each other in fights, even though they would never admit it. So how can Inosuke only be at 75%? Well, sure, they're friends, but Inosuke still thinks Zenitsu is an annoying crybaby. Yup, like, when they first met, Inosuke thought he was super weak and useless as a demon slayer. But after Zenitsu fell asleep and became a total badass, Inosuke actually thought he was super cool. And he literally started to admire him for his ridiculous lighting attacks. Like he even told Zenitsu he should sleep forever. But yeah, that's not really a compliment to Zenitsu though. Anyway, that said, even though they're close friends and care about each other, Inosuke still thinks Zenitsu is a super annoying loud crybaby when he's awake. But going from 75% to 85%, we've got Mitsuri. And Mitsuri actually thinks Zenitsu is super cute and gentle. Yeah, we all already know Zenitsu was on his absolute best behavior while training under her. And since Mitsuri's such a kind, caring person who spreads love to everyone, it just makes sense she'd respect him for being super nice to her. But someone who knows that's not who Zenitsu really is Shinobu Kocho. Still, she respects him at 85%. Yeah, she knows he's this loud, flirty womanizer, but she actually still respects him. A lot. Like the first time she saw him, she was really impressed that he'd slowed down the spider demon's poison by using his breathing, which is one of the reasons she took him in and helped him train at the Butterfly Mansion with the others. She also knows exactly how to manipulate him to train harder, like when she grabbed his hand and said, "Please give it your all," and even told him she was his biggest cheerleader, which obviously made him train like crazy. So yeah, Shinobu cheers for him and respects him for fighting demons. Moving up to 90%, we've got Gyomei. And Gyomei respects Zenitsu for being a part of the Demon Slayer Corps, and he wants to help him get stronger, promising Zenitsu and all Demon Slayer Corps members that he'll be there to guide them in these dark times. Another Hashira we just have to talk about is Tengen Uzui, who's at 95%. Although at first Tengen thought Zenitsu was super annoying, weak, loud, and stupid. Yeah, he basically just couldn't stand him. Zenitsu just made him so angry. Like when Zenitsu told him he didn't even have 3 wives and was just being a total pain in the ass the entire time at the entertainment district. I mean, Tengen couldn't understand why he was even a demon slayer. That said, Tengen now has so much respect for him. Why? Because Zenitsu managed to take down Daki, showing his incredible battle spirit and gave it his absolute all. So Tengen now sees him as a worthy Demon Slayer member and is super proud of him, even though he still thinks he's stupid and annoying. But someone who respects Zenitsu even more than Tengen is Kyojuro Rengoku, who actually respects Zenitsu at 100%. Yeah, Rengoku respected the yellow-haired boy so much for protecting all the innocent people on the Mugen train and not letting a single life be lost. Like he was so proud of him for his bravery and selflessness, even thinking that Zenitsu has the potential to become a future Hashira, as Rengoku saw his heart, his strength, and his determination, and that's why he gotta be at 100%. And staying at 100%, we've got Nezuko, and she just respects and cares so much about Inosuke. Yep, Inosuke. When he came back from a mission after the whole Swordsmith Village incident, she literally said to him, "Welcome back, Inosuke." And let's just say, he was not happy about that. Anyway, even if she got his name wrong, she still cares a lot about Zenitsu. And even though she sees him as a weird dandelion, she also sees him as family, and she'll absolutely turn into her super scary demon form to protect him. Plus, if you didn't know, during their recovery training, Zenitsu would sit beside her box and tell her stories about Tanjiro and everything going on. And Nezuko would respond by moving and scratching her box, which basically means she enjoyed listening to Zenitsu's stories. So yeah, as she sees him as family, she just gotta be at 100%. And talking about Nezuko, we obviously have to talk about Tanjiro as well, and he of course got 100% respect for Zenitsu. Sure, Tanjiro thinks Zenitsu can be pretty annoying sometimes with all his whining, panicking, and especially when he's chasing after Nezuko. But still, Tanjiro sees Zenitsu as one of his absolute best friends. He knows how strong Zenitsu really is, and he respects that when it matters, Zenitsu will fight for his friends with everything he's got. Tanjiro also respects Zenitsu for teaching him how to use thunder breathing when he mixed it with Hinokami Kagura for his dancing flash move to catch up to Hantengu. And yeah, Zenitsu keeps trying to make Tanjiro accept that he wants to marry his sister, but he isn't really too sure about that. Still, he's got nothing but love and respect for him. Now, last but definitely not least, we've got Jigoro Kuwajima, and he's actually got infinite respect for Zenitsu. Yeah, Zenitsu was one of Jigoro's final students, who he took in and trained to become the next Thunder Hashira. Not only that, but Jigoro literally saved him from a mountain of debt. Now sure, Jigoro obviously got frustrated with Zenitsu's constant whining and tantrums, even smacking him to toughen him up, but he never gave up on him. No matter how many times Zenitsu ran away, Jigoro always believed in him. He even let Zenitsu call him Gramps instead of Master, after Zenitsu said he called him that because he loved him, which is just so wholesome. Then, when Zenitsu was on the brink of death after fighting Kaigaku, he reunited with Jigoro, who tearfully told him that he was his pride and joy. And if that doesn't make him have infinite respect for Zenitsu, then I don't know what will. How much do you respect Zenitsu? And which character do you want me to do a video about next? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and watch this video next.